Hi guys, it's Chris with City or Homestead and time for Thankful Thursday. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to say about this today, but I've kind of had what I wanted to do since Monday. The oven's preheating. Today I want to do something on possibilities. And I have 5 verses that I picked out, and then we'll talk about it. But let's start out in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for each and every person that steps into this video, and whether they stay or not, touch them. Touch everybody in this world. Show us that everything's going to be okay and that we're okay. I ask that you help anybody with their prayers that they're asking and they seem to be unanswered. I also ask you to please throw in a prayer there for Sharon at church. She's not doing really well with her lungs. Also, know that we all love you and that we all need you and we all depend on you. We'll follow you wherever you take us to because we trust in you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. So, what I had today is possibilities. Mark 9:23, and Jesus said to him, "If you can, all things are possible to him who believes." 2 Peter 1:5, now this very reason also, applying all diligence in your faith, supply moral excellence, and in your moral excellence, knowledge. Luke 18:27, but he said, the things that are impossible with people are possible with God. Matthew 17:20, and he said to them, because of the littleness of your faith, for truly I say to you, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, which I have some up there, they're really small, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. And then Luke 1:37, for nothing is impossible with God. So now, what made me think about that? Well, remember I was supposed to meet for lunch with the one girl that's completely opposite of the way I believe. Well, she ended up getting sick, so we didn't. But my chiropractor, there was a guy sitting there, and politics came up, and, he isn't the president's fan, but he's like, we need to let it see where it goes before we make judgment. And I have been watching a lot of the shows or, videos that I usually watch, and so many have gotten so negative that I'm having a hard time watching them. But anyway, let's get into what we're going to make, and then we'll get farther into that. So I was going to make what they call blackberry hand pies, but I don't think the crust is big enough. So what I did is, remember I bought those mini crusts for 99 cents? I'm using stuff in my freezer. So we're going to get those opened up, and we're going to get them put into my pie tins. I'm going to make pie, but they're not going to have any crust on them, on the top, which is fine. As I said, I'm not a crust person. I know my grandma, she always made such beautiful crust too, and I've just never, on pizza, my bread, nothing. I'm just not a crust person. Tom loves crust, so he'll eat all mine. So while I'm getting these all separated, we'll talk some more. Like, I don't care what spectrum of politics people are on. I don't care if we're, in the United States or another country. We all have issues right now, and I think everybody's running a little bit scared. You know what I mean? They're afraid of cuts. They're afraid of changes. They're, afraid of everything. But the reason that I wanted to do the possibility one is because, does it ever occur to people that our possibilities could be bad. They could turn out bad. I mean, we're not God. Things could turn out bad. But do we ever think the possibilities that things could turn out good? You know, we have so many possibilities, and when we raise our children or nieces, nephews, whatever it happens to be, don't we tell them you could be anything you want to be? You can do anything that you want to do. You can accomplish anything that you want to accomplish. Isn't that how we teach those kids? I think we do. We don't just tell them, hey, you're going to suck. You know what I mean? We try to encourage those children to be, you know, responsible young adults and to, you know that they have a future. Like when AJ says something to me, Grandma, I can't get that. And I said, AJ, you could do anything you want. Anything, the sky's the limit. And I think that right now, like, I believe in stocking up food, and I told you guys what, I just really ripped this one bad. That, you know, I'm stocking up food, and I want to stock up my, you know, non-perishables and stuff like that. And I told you it's not because I'm worried that the world's going to end tomorrow. I just know that things are tough right now. And not just in the United States, it's everywhere. You know, we all have some financial issues with our countries and whatever. And it's nicer to stock up now while things are a little bit less expensive. Everything's still really expensive. Don't think I'm doubting that for a minute, because I'm not. Because things are crazy stupid expensive. But, you know, instead of people thinking, oh my gosh, the world's going to end tomorrow. Well, you know what? The possibilities are there. The world could end today. Or the world could end in 1,000 years from now. Nobody knows the day or the time, right? God made that specific. Nobody knows the time or the date. Nobody. So if people think, oh, I've got this down. No, they don't. God made it very specific that he wasn't telling anybody. Alright, so I have 2 of those packages of blackberries that I had bought this week at Meijer. 99 cents. Ooh, ooh. Alright, so we need a 1/4 cup of sugar. I wanted to find one that didn't take a lot of sugar and stuff because, you know, not all of us need all that. So we got a 1/4 cup of sugar. And we have 3 tablespoons of flour. And if you guys ever notice, I do try to find the easiest recipes. Least ingredients, easiest recipes. And if they're real hard, I try to make them easier. Alright, 3 tablespoons of flour. A tablespoon of lemon. Hopefully I don't lemon myself today. Like I did to Tom the other day. He's like, I'm going to smell like lemon all day long. And I go, well, it could be worse. And we need a teaspoon of cinnamon. I know I should have already put those in there, but I want this to kind of like sit there for a minute after I mix it together. And a teaspoon of cinnamon. Alrighty. Now we're going to get all that stirred together. And if you want to stir it with your hands to make sure everything gets mixed together, you can do that too. I should have done that. I just thought if I give it a couple minutes just to kind of sit there, you know, it'll all kind of get together. the recipe that I seen, actually, she takes the leftover sugar and stuff and puts it on top. We'll see how much I got left to do that. It comes with 14 mini crusts, but I'm only going to use 12. Well, first of all, because, well, I ripped 2 of them pretty bad. So you kind of stretch them out just a little bit, not too much. And I sprayed the bottom of my pans, even though they're nonstick. I don't trust that nonstick crap. And we're going to fill all these up. So I guess they wouldn't be hand pies, and they really wouldn't be pies. I think they'd be more of a tart. You guys can let me know. So anyway, back on with our conversation while I'm doing this, and it's annoying, right? I want everybody to, you know what, think positive. I mean, do you ever remember some of your tests that you took in school and you were like so scared to take that test because you knew for sure that you were going to fail, right? And then you ended up getting an A in it, you know? Like, you never know. You think that you're not ready, and then you find out that you are. Our possibilities right now, although to some it feels like it's very, very, you know, like bad, our possibilities can be amazing. You know, sometimes, like my ex-husband and both my boys actually, and me, and maybe a lot of you, none of us like change, you know, like that instant change. Ugh, that is so scary. But you know what? Maybe sometimes change can end up being really good. If we believe automatically that we're going to fail, well, the possibilities are we are going to. If we believe in our hearts and trust in God that we can succeed at everything that we do, I think the chances are better. You know what I mean? Like, the possibilities are endless. I want people to stock up their food and their non-perishables and stuff like that because they want to save money. Because they want to be ready in case something does happen. And I don't mean SHTF. I mean life. Like, one of our people yesterday said how, you know, she was unemployed and, you know, she made it through because of the stuff that she had stocked up. I talked to a lady at the bank yesterday, and she said how during COVID, she was in the hospital for 54 days. And that was just enough blackberries. So I'm going to put them in the oven now. And we're going to keep them in there for about 20 minutes. Whoops. I did it again. Let's shut everything off. Bake. 375. Start. Timer. 20 minutes. I'm going to check the timer before then because on that recipe, you're doing 2 crusts. I'm only doing just the bottom one, so I'll check it. So anyways, I lost my train of thought. That's probably not good. I hope that stuff is finally breaking up, so I do apologize for the coughing and sniffling and stuff. I still have some congestion, but hopefully it's going to start getting better because I'm so over it. But anyway, she was in the hospital, I think she said 54 days. And it was the scariest thing of her life. They said that she would never come home with, like, she came home with oxygen. Her lung capacity got down to 20. That's low. Said she would never function without oxygen again. And you know, that's so scary, the thoughts of that. But you know what? Through hard work and prayer, she now has 80% function of her lungs. And she is not on oxygen. She lost her job. during that time, but she now has a better job. And so her outlook yesterday when I was talking to her just filled my heart with joy. And we were talking about different things, you know, and it was a little bit of a conversation. It was kind of nice. And then she said to me, she goes, "Thank you for sharing your life with me as well." And you know something? Sometimes that's all we need to do. Some of us, all of us, have been through tragic things in our life. We've been through ups and downs. We've been through good and bad, whether it's the economy, our income, our jobs, our mental, our physical, our emotional, our relationships, whatever it happens to be. I don't think I know anybody that has went through life bump free. So what if we did think about, like, the endless possibilities? What if we thought about nothing will be impossible with God? What if we put our faith in, like, even those of us that say we're Christians, what if we said, you know what? God's got me no matter what, good or bad. What if we just said that? What if we just said, I can do anything that I need to do? When we start thinking down about the possibilities and what could happen and what didn't happen and what's going to happen and how about if we think back to what we've told our kids, our grandkids, our nieces, our nephews, our neighbors? You can do anything that you want to do. You can accomplish anything that you want to accomplish. The possibilities are endless. Belle's trying to be a star again. You know, I think that we can allow today's time and energy to go towards negative. But isn't that what evil wants us to do? Make it to where it's bad for all of us? I don't know. I think of it like this. Whether you like the new rules or not, and there's other countries that have new rulers, whether you like it or not, you're in it. You're in it. Unless you move, you're in it. I challenge everybody to find one thing from your country that you love, that you truly love, and go with that. Know that, you know what, as well, it's not going to be the way I explain it, but you know, as easy as things went way sky high up, they can come down, but not quite that fast. It's not going to work that fast. She's happy if she's rubbing on my toe, I guess. Things go up, things come down. You know, I'm not saying that inflation's not hitting me, because it does. That's why I've been eating out of the freezer. That's why I go to the discount stores. That's why, you know, I look for sales and trying to coupon again, because believe me, inflation hits this house just like it hits everybody else. Hard times hit us just like it hits everybody else. Car insurance. If you live in Michigan, we're one of the highest charged states in the nation. It is ridiculous. And like, it's coming up for renewal, and I'm scared to pieces. Because I'm like, I can't afford any more than it was last year. And like Jack, his house insurance just went up $200 for the year. And we think, well, $200 for a year, that's not too bad. But when you're on a limited income, that's a lot. That is a lot. I'm rambling. Yes, Belle, I hear you. You're fine. Isn't it nap time? You're lucky I'm not handling food right now. But anyways, I'm not touching food. But anyways, I want us to think about as negative as the possibilities are, like that we think about, like, oh my gosh, everybody could starve and everybody could do this and everybody could do that. Why don't today, not only do we find one good thing we love about our country, but one truly positive thing that no matter what happens, we got that. I believe that God has gotten me through a lot of things, you guys. Oh, He's gotten me through a lot of things. And I 100%, you know, like I told you the other day, it's hard for me to put 100% trust into anybody, including God. And it is, and it still is hard for me. But I know that He's got us. In the end, if you believe in God, He wins. So all these bumps and bruises that we go through are making us into the people that we need to be. If I came through with a, you know, my childhood was not great. I'm going to tell you guys straight out. It was not great at all. But had I not went through those bumps and bruises, would I be the woman that I am today? Would I be as protective of my children and my grandchildren that I am if it was peaches and roses and everything? Probably not. The good times when you can look up and you're just like so excited that you succeeded at something. You know, when we look at the possibilities, the good ones, there's a light that shines above it that just like draws you to it. But if you keep looking at those possibilities that keep you back here, life turns dark. I want you to have a pantry. I want you to have, you know, non-essentials, or I mean, you know, like non-perishables. I want you to have all those things stocked up. Not because the world's going to end tomorrow, but because I want it to be, if you happen to get sick, someone loses some hours that week. Because, you know, even if you think about it, like that one paycheck Tom had 2 days that they got, one week and one the next. They got sent home early because the power was out. Well, you can't build anything with no power. So, you know, when you think about that and they work 10-hour shifts, yeah, that makes a dent out of your paycheck. So if you can go in and you can pull something out of your freezer or your pantry and you can still feed your family, amazing, amazing. It's great. I want you to do it for those things. I want you to do it for reasons that you want to. If you want to, you know, take a month off of work, I wish we could. I wish Tom could. We could afford it. That would be great. But you know what? If you want to travel, you know you're covered when it comes to food and the other essentials in your life. That's what I want you to prep for. Not because everybody tells you, oh, this program's been cut and this has been done, this has been done. Listen, we're going to get through it. We've been through every single president beforehand, and the older we get, the more that we've seen. We're going to get through it. And for you and the other countries too, you guys are going to get through it. We just have to believe in the possibilities and the positive possibilities. We can all focus on the bad things that could happen. You know, like my dad used to say, well, you're worried about the end of the world. You know, you could walk out today and you know, get run over by a car. Or, you know, like I say, that could happen. Or you could walk out today and somebody give you roses. You never know. Life, as difficult as it can be the ugliest thing in the world. It can be ugly. But you know, life can also be the most beautiful thing in the world. If we concentrate on, you know, reality, I mean, we have to live in today. And if it's tough, it's tough. But there's nothing wrong with, you know, thinking positive and doing things to make changes. I know my son and I, we kind of banter back and forth. And I finally said to him yesterday, I said, why don't you go out and be the change? If something means that much to you, go out and be the change. And each and every one of us can do that. And I don't mean just politics or policies or whatever it happens to be. And this is not directed at my son. We can be the change for everything. Our possibilities are endless. If you don't want life to be bad, I totally lost train of thought. Belle was making a lot of noise, so I shut the camera off. Anyways, I checked my little pies, and as they seem dry, so I put just a little tad of butter on them, just like a little tiny bit. We'll see if that makes a difference. But anyway, so I don't know where I left off, but anyway, as much as the possibilities can be bad, they can be good. So I want you to, in the comments, you know, not only, like I said, say something good about your country that you love, but also a possibility that can happen that's good. You know, the world is full of endless possibilities. Through God, I truly believe we can do anything. Just because we believe in God doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Nothing in this world is easy. Nothing. You know, I mean, look at even being born. Look at the pain your mom had to go through. And I'm sure it wasn't the most comfortable feeling you coming through that little area either. You know, so I'm sure you're being poked and prodded on, you know, when you first get into this world. So I'm sure it's not the most perfect thing there either. So right from the start, it's rough. Some babies, you know, they're born with issues, and, you know, they have it right from the get-go. Some babies are born perfect and beautiful, and they don't have that bumpy of a ride. You know, some people's school was really, really easy. Other people struggled. Some people's lives have been pretty easy. Financially, everything else. Some of us have had bumps along the way. Our possibilities, I believe, through God, everything, like I said, is possible. You have to believe it. You have to have faith that today is not the last day. Today is not the worst day. Today might be your best day. You know, we were talking about goals and whatever, and Sherry said, my biggest goal is to see if I wake up in the morning. Well, you know, I'm 58 years old, and Tom is 67. And I know I'm itching my nose, but I'm not going to touch food. Anyways, you know, my mom and my grandmother died at 66 years old, 65, something like that. I don't know. So my goal in life is to live way past them. Because I don't want to die that young. And then I think about, because Tom is getting older, am I going to wake up one day and he won't? Or vice versa, for that matter. You know, life, if we thought about it in those possibilities, we'd be stunted. We would just give up. So what if I did die at 66? Let's hope I don't, but, you know, let's say I did. You know, that's not very far away. That's not very far away at all. You know, I think about that, you know, and like AJ would only be, you know, not quite 13. I wouldn't get to watch my grandsons graduate from school. My other two kids haven't had children, so I would miss out on those. But then I think, what about if the possibility is I live till I'm 90 and I get to see all those things? I could live at that thought that, you know what, and my grandma, my great-grandma, actually, I don't know how old she was, but she died young too. So, you know, it's kind of like, but what happens if I break that cycle? What if my possibility is I didn't inherit as many genes from that side of the family, and I inherited from my grandpa's side, and he lived till he was 82? You never know what's possibly going to happen to you or to your family or to anyone else. You just have to remain positive and know that the possibilities are endless, good and bad. So when you're stocking up that stuff, stock it up because you know what? You want to beat the inflation for now, and you want to be stocked up in case, something happens. It doesn't always mean the world's going to end. And some of these channels, you guys, I know that I'm not going through life with rose-colored glasses. I'm not. Probably about 2 more minutes, I would say. But I'm not, like I say, I'm not going through with rose-colored glasses, but what happens if this time in our life right now ends up being the best time? What if we have to go through a few bumps and then we get this amazing world? I don't believe in utopia. My son goes, that sounds like utopia. No, I don't believe in utopia. There's no such thing other than heaven. There's no place on earth that will be as amazing as heaven. I don't believe that. So, anyways, I know I've rambled on. As usual, I hope that, like Sherry goes, you make sense. Don't worry about it. Okay. But when it comes out of your mouth and it's going on here, you wonder, oh my gosh, how is people going to take that? Because, like YouTube, you gain 2, you lose 2. You gain 2, you lose 5. You never know. Are you saying the wrong things, doing the wrong things? And it kind of makes you like, you know what I mean? So, it kind of gives you I don't know. Anyway, know that I believe in you. I believe in each and every one of you. I love each and every one of you. God loves you. Even if you don't believe in God, believe me, there's enough people out in this world that love you. We gotcha. We gotcha. So let's pull these out and take a look-see at them. How's that? Oh, if nothing else, they smell really good. You know what I wonder? You just don't see if they're dry when you have a second, when you have that topping over top of it. So, there we go. I think they're going to be delicious. How could they not be? You know what I was thinking too? Ooh. Let's do this real quick. I like to do it to pie crust, so why can't we just put a little dice of sugar in each one? I gotta fill my sugar bowl up too, by the way. Ta-da! There we go. We'll see tonight when Tom gets home, because I'm not tasting that fresh out of the oven. So, you guys have a blessed day. Be a blessing. Know that you're loved. Know that your possibilities are endless, good and bad. Mostly good. Know that my prayers go out to each and every one of you every day, and that I'm rooting that we all succeed and do great. Hopefully today made sense. Hopefully you enjoyed today. If not, I'm sorry. But you guys have a blessed day, and I will see you at supper, and we're going to have something really cool. I got a recipe off of another channel, and I asked her, could I use it? She's like, yeah. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. All right. I'll see you guys.